Today, Georgia Congressman Jack Kingston had harsh words for Democrats as well as his Republican colleagues, telling the New York Times, quote, "A lot of Democrats don't know how it would play in their party, and Republicans don't want to change anything. We like the path we're on now. We can denounce it if it goes bad and praise it if it goes well and ask what took him so long." Joining me now is the speaker of those comments, Republican representative for Georgia's 1st District, Congressman Jack Kingston. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Hey, Luke. Good to be with you.
So those comments created a lot of noise in the blogosphere. Is that what it's going on right now on Capitol Hill? Is that Democrats have some angst on moving forward on this, and Republicans see could hurt their election prospects in the fall midterms?
Luke, I think so. I think there is some cynicism on Capitol Hill, and what I was trying to do is call out both parties and say that we need to hear from the president. He's going to be addressing us tomorrow night. I think it's very good that he is. I hope that he will have a strategy. He will speak with clarity. He will talk about the American interest and who our coalition will be, because I would be part, I believe, of the coalition to support the president if he decides to have some limited strikes on the Syrian side of the border. I think that ISIS is a type enemy that we have not seen before. And so I think for him to address the United States and speak to Congress, speak to the American people, speak to our allies, I think it's all very important. So I'm glad he's taken the step that he is, but I think Congress needs to step up too. I think we should have some responsibility, and I'm not one who is afraid to take a vote. I think it would be important for us to support the president depending on what he has to say, and I think that he's got to do that kind of convincing job that President Bush had to do in the past and other presidents have had to do as well.
Senator Inhofe on the Senate side and Congressman Issa in the House side are both moving to allow the president to go to war or continue these airstrikes against ISIS. Do you think there's an appetite within the Republican Party on Capitol Hill to move forward to give the president the authority through a vote to go against ISIS?
I think you would find a coalition of, say, pro-Israel Democrats and hawkish Republicans who would probably come together and support a vote like that. Now, as Buck McKeon just said a few minutes ago on your show, or the tape of Buck, said that there might not be time to have a vote. And so to give the president some leeway in doing strikes, I think people would understand that practicality.
And do you think that on that point with McKeon, there's not a lot of leeway? Do you think that's somewhat of a crutch, though? Because the president, to some degree, might not want to put forward a vote from Congress. He might want to operate under that post-9/11 authorization, and a lot of congressional members might not want to take it. Is this sort of a mutual thing here between the president and Congress, to sort of delay it and let me do what I want to do?
There could be some. I don't know that it would ever be formalized, or it's some kind of a quiet understanding to give the commander-in-chief the leeway that he needs because he has more real-time information and has to act faster than a vote of Congress would take. But, you know, I think at the same time, understand how important this is, and if tomorrow night the president outlines the American peril and gets our constituents on board that ISIS is something that we have not seen before, this is just not an ordinary terrorist group, if you will, I think people would be supportive of him moving forward.
Congressman Jack Kingston, Republican of Georgia, thanks so much for coming on the show and sharing your views. Take care.
Thank you, Luke.